She was the brightest witch of her age, the champion of logic, loyalty, and law. But behind that clever smile, bushy hair, and a wand that rarely missed, Hermione Granger held secrets. Deep, dark, unsettling secrets that even Harry and Ron never fully understood. Today, we peel back the curtain on the most shocking and unknown truths about Hermione Jean Granger, the girl who rewrote magic, redefined morality, and may have even bent time itself to her own will. This is not the Hermione you thought you knew. Secret 1. The forbidden memory she erased from her parents wasn't just about her being a witch. Most fans remember the emotional moment when Hermione obliterated her parents' memories to protect them from Voldemort's wrath. But here's what they don't tell you. She didn't just erase her existence. According to unrevealed ministry records and interviews from ex-Aurors, Hermione wiped out something much darker, the memory of a magical accident that almost killed them. When she was only 9, Hermione performed uncontrolled magic, accidentally unleashing a wild, unregistered hex from an old book she secretly found in Nocturne Alley during a family vacation. The curse backfired and left her father in a coma for 3 days. St. Mungo's covered it up under the Muggle Protection Act, but it changed Hermione forever. That's when she swore she'd learn every spell, law, and restriction, not to obey them but to master and surpass them. The memory erasure was her final act of penance. She didn't just protect her parents from Voldemort, she protected herself from guilt. Secret 2. The Time Turner incident that shattered an entire timeline. Everyone praises Hermione for using the Time Turner in Prisoner of Azkaban to save Sirius, Black, and Buckbeak. But what if I told you when that wasn't her first time using it? According to a now classified Department of Mysteries archive leaked during the 2031 Magical Ethics trial, Hermione had used the Time Turner dozens of times before, testing magical outcomes, even trying to change key Hogwarts events, including the troll attack in first year. In one forbidden timeline, she let the troll hurt Ron, just to see how things might change if they never became friends. Another time, she watched Snape being bullied for hours only to report nothing. The side effects? She's said to have suffered chronic memory echoes, insomnia, and even dissociative fits. Evidence she may have remembered multiple timelines at once. The Ministry quietly confiscated her Time Turner after the 3rd year, not because of policy, but because Hermione almost tore reality apart. Secret 3. She was almost in Slytherin, and still carried its traits silently. The Sorting Hat hesitated on Hermione, not between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw as many assume, but between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Yes, you heard that right. The Sorting Hat allegedly whispered to her, "You do well in Slytherin, very well. You have the cunning, ambition, and hunger for greatness." But she begged for Gryffindor, terrified that her Muggle-born status might lead to alienation in the House of Snakes. But here's the twist. Her Slytherin traits never vanished. Her strategic manipulation of rules, her ruthless drive for perfection, and her occasional coldness toward those who didn't meet her intellectual standards, all trace back to that hidden Slytherin core. In Secret 4, the forbidden relationship with a dark wizard that never made the books. During the summer before her 6th year, Hermione went undercover with the Order of the Phoenix to monitor a circle of young witches and wizards suspected of harboring Death Eater ties. There she met Theon Avery Jr., the son of a known Death Eater. What started as a mission of infiltration turned into a web of letters, midnight meetings, and a dangerous emotional attachment. Theon was charismatic, tortured, and brilliant in obscure magical theory. He challenged Hermione intellectually in ways Ron never could. She believed she could redeem him, but when she discovered Theon was funneling her information to the Death Eaters and that he knew about Dumbledore's movements, Hermione had to make a choice. She reported him. He was captured and sentenced to Azkaban, but that decision broke something in her. For months she isolated herself, throwing herself into darker texts. Her Patronus failed for the first time, and her grades dropped in subjects involving emotion. She never told Ron or Harry. It was love, betrayal, and a lesson that trust could be deadly. Secret 5. After the war, Hermione became a master of the dark arts, for a reason. She never revealed it was assumed that after the war, Hermione took a clean political path, rising through the Ministry with a noble heart and a sharp mind. But behind closed doors, she was doing something unthinkable. Training in forbidden magic, not for power, but as a failsafe. Sources close to Unspeakables confirm she studied the dark rituals Voldemort used, not to replicate them, but to find their weaknesses. She allegedly reverse-engineered Horcrux theory, disassembled blood magic curses, and even learned necromantic counter-magic. One anonymous Auror claimed she once used a soul anchor spell to revive a nearly dead comrade, a spell bordering on dark resurrection. Why? Hermione knew better than anyone that evil never dies. And if another Dark Lord ever rose again, she wouldn't rely on love, hope, or teenage luck. She would meet fire with fire. She didn't just want to be prepared. She wanted to be the final line of defense, even if it meant becoming what she once swore to destroy. So the next time you think of Hermione Granger as just the bookish girl who saved her friends with a flick of her wand, remember, behind those pages she read were shadows. She wasn't just fighting Voldemort. She was fighting herself, her past, and the very structure of magic itself. And in doing so, she became one of the most powerful and complex witches in magical history. This was Hermione Granger's truth. Fact, her campaign to free house elves, though noble, was executed with such inflexible arrogance that it alienated the very elves she tried to help. Even Dumbledore once remarked she was too clever, too forceful with her justice. Was she a hero? Absolutely. But she was also a Slytherin in Gryffindor robes, armed with kindness and an ambition sharp as a blade.